All right, all right. It's Thursday. We're talking about Thursday night football here. Tennessee Titans going into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to take on those mighty Steelers. And it's going to be very interesting. We got the battle of number 8, obviously. Got Kenny Pickett, who is going to be playing tonight, despite being, banged up in the last game. Will Levis, coming in off of his, best performance, 3 touchdowns to his main man, D Hop. So Tennessee, is looking to try to continue this love connection, this new love connection between Levis and Hopkins, and obviously, Derrick Henry wants to join the love as well here. So, don't be surprised if Derrick Henry doesn't, try to show up too and be, he's gonna make sure, he's gonna hold down his end of the bargain. And it'll be interesting to see what the Tennessee Titans defense does. If they can get some pressure on Pinkett here and obviously get some turnovers here, I think that bodes well for them. But if they don't, and Kenny Pickett is able to get to his targets, obviously George Pickens, as of George Pickens seems to be like almost he's Mr. Guaranteed, but he's been finding the end zone. Almost every game so far. I mean, there's been a couple where he didn't, but definitely think and Deontay Johnson's come back. Looked pretty well, looked pretty healthy, and looks like he doesn't want to drop any balls as of late. And can the line protect Kenny Pickett long enough so we can get and then obviously they get established a run game and establish some sort of passing, or is they gonna let Tennessee's defensive line get in there and get some pressure and make this a game that maybe Tennessee can turn it up a little bit, turn it up a notch here. But we'll see. And can the Steelers defense do it to the young rookie? Obviously, we haven't seen him actually have to go through any pressure. Obviously, the Falcons defense didn't give him too much pressure. And we'll see tonight here. Definitely, he'll be under some pressure here to see the Steelers defense can come up opportunistic here against Tennessee. And, obviously that we got a couple NBA games to talk about here. But, everybody wants to talk about Tennessee versus the Steelers. What is going to go down here today? Who's going to win? How they're going to win? And why they're going to win? Well, right now, like I said, I'd like to just, obviously we got some 2 pictures here of some players here. Obviously you got Will Levis, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Derrick Henry, you got DeAndre Hopkins, TJ Watt, and you got George Pickens. I mean, obviously, these guys all have to be contributing factors for their teams to win, per se. But there's a lot of other, factors like I always talk about. It's always a broken record. Please don't stop me because it is truth. O-line play and defensive line, the offensive and defensive line play plays very well. If your team can control both trenches, the offensive side and the defensive side, your team is more likely got a really good shot to win a game and be in every game at least. But when your team doesn't dominate either side of the ball, it's hard for your team to get victories. And this is you can look at any team that has played this season. The teams that have dominated in the trenches have won more games. I guarantee you that. I guarantee that's a betting stat you can take home to the bank. Yeah, that one was a bad joke. Sorry, no puns intended. But yeah, I mean, I think it really bodes well for both these teams to establish, their line play, offensively and defensively. If both teams can get pressure on both offensive lines, I think it's gonna be a tough game for both teams. Tough sledding. You got Pinkett, who's trying to prove himself, and then you got Levis, who's obviously he's been thrown into the fire as of now. So two quarterbacks that want to prove something, but if you put them in bad situations, it's not going to go well for either team, in my opinion. So both teams are going to try to, I know both teams will probably try to run the ball a little bit more, try to establish a little bit run going forward here, or I don't know, maybe both teams start going out and attacking each other here, just tack each other's secondary and see what happens. But obviously, if you're going to attack the secondary, you're going to have time. So if your offensive line isn't giving your quarterback enough time, and guys are getting in his face, well, regardless if they're getting his sacks or not, but as long as they're getting pressure, pressure causes bad plays and causes turnovers and causes indecisiveness and just it wreaks havoc on teams. And we've seen it throughout the season so far. And will we see it tonight? It's remained to see. It will remain to be seen. But yeah, who do I like tonight here? I mean, I would love to take Tennessee. I mean, I like what I've seen from Will Levis, but I don't want to count the Steelers out. And I feel like the Steelers are a team at home. They play more motivated at home. I feel like they definitely play more motivated at home than they do on the road here. And short week. Short week. Obviously, Kenny Pickett probably hasn't really practiced very much of this of that nature. So it's all gonna really ride on opportunities in the game. Which team is gonna get an opportunity early to really put their team up or help their team go up a score. And just like I said, I like this game a lot. I think both teams have rebuilding offensive lines. Both teams have, for the latter part, two, guy beside. I mean, TJ lines up, but TJ's obviously a linebacker, more or less. He's not so much somebody who plays on the line, but so we're gonna definitely see. We're gonna definitely see what's gonna happen here. I like George Pickens here tonight. I mean, he's one of the guys I've always, even since last year, since the Steelers drafted him, it seems like the Steelers know how to draft them wide receivers. And I feel like, George Pickens tonight could find himself in the end zone, obviously, because, Tennessee's secondary isn't the greatest. But if their front causes enough pressure, then their secondary won't be as exposed as much. But they gotta also have help from the linebacking crew. So, and for the Steelers, I feel like they could win here at home, but sometimes that offense just doesn't. I don't know. That offense just doesn't really. It gets a little stagnant here. It doesn't just. It doesn't move efficiently here. They don't get the ball moving. They're not running the ball efficiently enough, and leads to bad efficiencies in passing, which either guys drop the ball or it hits the guy's hands, or it's you're always in a third and long situation. You got to worry about penalties, and that's the thing too. A lot of teams, and the drives that kill you the most are the ones that your team commits penalty after penalty after penalty. Stalls out drives. It basically shortens drives, shortens possessions that you have in a game. So that's where I'm leaning at here. But let's look at the numbers here. We got the numbers are on the board. Obviously here we got 3 points here. Obviously it's a 3-point game here for Tennessee. Tennessee's the underdog here, the road underdogs here. Pittsburgh's favored to win by 3 here. 37 points here. I'm liking the over here. I'm liking the over 37, and I'm going to tell you why I like the over 37 here. I feel like there will be some defense here tonight, but I feel like there's enough explosive, playmakers on both sides that the score, it could go over that here. I feel like unless both defenses come to play and both offenses just have a hard time getting down the field and converting first downs, and moving the ball efficiently. That's the only way I see this being a under 37 if it's just really ugly football here. Ugly, punch you in the mouth defensive football here on a Thursday night. And I mean, it could happen. It definitely could happen. I mean, I'm not saying that the Titans and the Steelers can't go into an ugly, ugly game here tonight and it be, a 7-3 or a 9-6. I mean, I don't want that because, I mean, that would really hurt a lot. But I feel like, you know, you don't know what you're going to get from both these teams. And so I like the spread being 3 points, whether if you want to take the side of the Steelers or you want to take the side of the cover with the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, Titans are plus 140 on the money line. Steelers are minus 165, which isn't bad here. For them to win by 3 is minus 110. The under 37 points is minus 105. The over 37 is minus 115. So that's not the only games that we got going on here tonight here. We got college here. We got college football. College. We got Mississippi Valley State taking on Bethune-Cookman here. Bring it in here. All right. Mississippi Valley State and Bethune-Cookman. HBCU college football here tonight in Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman is favored to win by 10.5 here. The over-under is 40 points here. Mississippi Valley State usually doesn't play very well on the road. So, I mean, I understand why Bethune-Cookman is favored to win by, at least 2 scores. But, I don't know. Jerry Rice went to the University of Mississippi Valley State, and so I feel like maybe they can cover the 10.5 here tonight here against Bethune-Cookman. Like I said, it's not my best bet of the night here. What I would take here, game starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 West Coast here. All right, we obviously got some college football games here to talk about here. We got TCU. In about 5 minutes here, we got TCU taking on Texas Tech. Texas Tech is favored here. TCU was ranked to start the season, but has had a fall from grace, nonetheless, to say the least here as far as the season goes here. So that's why they're the underdogs here. 59 points, so they think there's going to be a lot of points there. We got Southern Alabama and Troy. Definitely going to be some good football down there. Small college. We got it's basically a battle of Alabama. Yeah, Northern Alabama versus Southern Alabama. So, who's going to win here? Who's going to win? Obviously, you got Troy's favored to win by Tutty Buddy here. So, will be interesting to see in that game. Then we got Wake Forest and Duke. Earl. Duke kind of just fell to the wayside, but I think tonight they rebound against Wake Forest in a good one and a close one here, I should say. So, definitely. And then Friday night we got Boston College and Syracuse. We got Colorado State and Wyoming here. So those are just some games to be thinking about there. We have NBA here tonight here. Let's look at the NBA as far as what we got on the record here. All right, we got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, Philadelphia is favored to win by 7.5. 214.5 is the team total over under here. Then we have Pistons versus Pelicans. Good young battle there. Pistons had a chance to win last night, but they let those Portland Trailblazers guys, don't count those guys out there. I know they might have lost Scoot Henderson, but they're playing some pretty good basketball. say the least here. They're playing really good basketball, togetherness basketball, and that could bode well for a team. I mean, are they going to make the play-in game? Maybe not, but are they going to be competitive this season? Oh, yeah, Chauncey Billups is going to make sure that they're competitive. And I know Zion Williams, I think, tonight. No Zion Williams here tonight here. So it's going to be interesting for the Pelicans, to say the least, here at home. A lot of C.J. McCollum. Then we got the Orlando Magic against the Jazz here. Jazz are home underdogs here. Magic's -2 here, so. And then, last but not least, we got the San Antonio Spurs and the Phoenix Suns here. Suns, obviously, -9.5 here, so. Yeah, I mean, interesting. I mean, Raptors pretty much dominated against Milwaukee, which was not surprisingly because they were at home. But against 76ers here, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say the Raptors are a very bad team, but Nick Nurse definitely going to play his old team and definitely going to stick it to him. That's all I'm going to say. Pistons and Pelicans, I like that game. Definitely could see this game going over 215. Definitely like that one going over here. Magic and the Jazz here. I don't know. I feel like the Jazz get one at home here today. I feel like the Jazz get one at home today. I feel like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that they're going to pull some upset here. They're going to win here tonight. I know the Magic have been playing better than advertised basketball right now, which is good for Orlando Magic fans. But the Jazz have not played, spectacular basketball. It's kind of been a rebuild here. A lot of new players, obviously. You got John Collins coming over here now. And just, it's a different type of Jazz team. Still got Lauri Markkanen. Still got Jordan Clarkson. So you got still some good players, Colin Sexton. So it's going to remain to see if they can stay healthy enough, build the rotation, and see what they can build on here. But I think they have enough tonight to be able to beat the Magic. But I don't know. Magic have kind of been a surprise team to start this early season here. And a lot of people thought Orlando was going to be really bummed, but they've been towards the top here. I'm telling you, they've lost a couple games here, but they played some teams quite close. And the Spurs and the Suns, I would love to take the +9.5 with the Spurs here, but I don't know. Devin Booker is playing tonight, I believe. So Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, I just don't like that here. I feel like I don't necessarily think it's a blowout. I mean, I think it can stay close at a certain time, but then it could become a blowout here. But like I said, what do I know? What do I know here? But yeah, we have these player props here. But we're gonna look at our player props that we have right now here that we took here. We got one going on right now here. In my this is my other one here I took here. Took TJ Watt to get higher than 2 solo tackles here tonight. Deshaun Stoudemire to get a touchdown here for Troy. Jaran Bradley to get a touchdown for Texas Tech, which that game has now got underway here. I got Nurkic to get a double-double. And Ty J. Spears to get a rushing or receiving touchdown tonight. And if all 5 of those cash, it will be 50 bones. If not, at least if 4 of them cash and only 1, then we will get, a decent amount of money here. And then our other bet here, we have George Pickens to get a touchdown, John Collins to get a double-double, Tyrese Maxey to get a block, Franz Wagner to get a block, and Will Levis to throw higher than 1.5 interceptions. So I really don't want that to happen. And then my sister is putting that Kenny Pickett's going to throw an interception tonight. And Derrick Henry get a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins to have over 53.5 receiving yards. Will Levis to have over 201 yards passing, and Connor Hayward to have higher than 2.5 receptions, which I think that's pretty good player props by my sister there. I gave her props there. Those are good props right there. So we're gonna see if we can make some money here, make some money tonight here with the player props here. I don't really got a sports bet here today. Figured I do player props here. Don't really care so much. Being a slighter slate, wait for the wait for Saturday and Sunday to really bet, the teams as it goes here. So with that being said here, we just showed you the player props here, who we think is going to win here. Obviously, like I said, I like to see the Tennessee Titans win here. But I don't know. I definitely think it's going to go over 37 here. I don't know. I feel some strange feeling. I think it's going to go over that number here. So, I'm signing off here. Just wanted to get a little bet, tell my bets in, tell the sides, break it down a little bit. And we'll see you tonight.